everybody, and welcome to episode 24 of the Detroit Lions franchise. I'm sorry for the wait, guys. I'm in the middle of midterms right now, so things are getting a little crazy for me on the school side of things, but I'm going to try and continue pumping out these videos as much as I can. I already have a couple of the next episodes pre-recorded, not too far, but I have a couple other games that are going to be ready for you right after this week, so I am doing my best to make sure I can get some episodes out for you. So in this episode, we're going to be starting off with a ton of upgrades. We're also going to be going over the bye week, which is basically we just have to simulate into next week and we're in the bye week. But we have a couple big upgrades just in this first week, I guess in this first session of upgrading that we have here. Philip Shelby, you saw Rodney Foreman, Jahlani Tavai, who has seen a considerable amount of snaps, less snaps as last season. It's not because we don't trust them, but I think we have guys that we want to develop, guys who are able to make more plays. Jahlani Tavai is still an important part of this backup core. In case we have injuries, we know we're going to have someone to rely on. You just saw Melo St. Clair get an upgrade, and right here is going to be Sammy Watkins. This is a big one. Not only does he go up 2 overall, but he's going to get a +1 speed. So Sammy Watkins, who's probably having the best start of his career so far, is going to continue the hot streak here, and he's going to be just that much more dangerous for us out there. And we're going to get also a player of the week, and that was DeAndre, who got a big game last week. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns. We can go back and see that after, but a catching touchdown as well. And he just had a monster week for us. And right here, I wanted to show you the guys that we are developing as our focus players. Terrence Kramer, our right tackle Mason, and then our hidden development trait Roseman, who plays defensive end, actually linebacker for us. And so those are the guys that we are focusing on throughout here. Roseman, because we wanted to develop him as quickly as possible. Terrence Kramer as well. And Mason at right tackle, finding, legitimate offensive linemen in this game that don't come from free agency, but being able to develop your own guys because hidden developments are so rare at the offensive line position. You want to focus on them while they're young to get them as high of an overall as possible. As I said, after that, we were still able to do training in the bye week, of course. So a lot of upgrades here. You just saw DeAndre Swift, and we got slot receiver that we're trying to develop. Paul Poole here hasn't seen too many snaps so far this year, but we're going to try and round him out, as make him, as versatile as can be. I like my players who are able to do a lot more of good things than one great thing. I think they're more effective on the field. And there's James Roseman again, as we're focusing on getting his coverage up. And there's Ronnie Harrison, our free agent acquisition. He's going to get a hybrid upgrade. I do that for both safety positions, free and strong. I think it just works on all stats. And I feel like even no matter what, when you put points into hybrid, one of the other two, whether it be zone or I think run stopper, are going to go up naturally. So finally, time to get into the game. We went through the whole entire bye week, big upgrades. I'm not showing you guys the draft yet. Usually the bye week would be a good time to take a little break or take a couple extra minutes to go over the draft. But I've decided I'm going to make another, 15, 20-minute video, around week 8, probably in week 8. That'll be separate from any gameplay, but that's going to be more going over the stats around the league, what's happening, everybody's record, what the playoff race is potentially going to look like, and of course, all the draftees, and we're going to get a chance to know them there. I'll be able to give them more focus instead of just, using 2 minutes of every episode, or not even 2 minutes of every episode going over the recruits. We're going to be able to look at it in depth. So I think that's going to be what's best for the series. And I thought it worked pretty well last time as well. A lot of interesting things happened. And so here we go against Washington here. Jameis Winston is the quarterback, but this is after eye surgery. Jameis Winston, of course, 3 years after. I didn't get the chance to check what he had done since leaving Tampa Bay, and of course being a backup for 1 season, but here he is in Washington. We'll get a chance to look at his stats right here. You know what? That is not horrible. Definitely not horrible for only, I think we're in week 4. So that's definitely not bad, but he has a couple interceptions, obviously, but so does Philip Shelby when he had those 3 against the Cowboys, which were really unfortunate. But here we go with the first snap of the game, and as you can see there, I believe that's Melvin Gordon at running back. It is, and he's going to be their starter over Antonio Gibson. That's pretty interesting. Even after, the first season of us playing being able to develop, Antonio Gibson is still not a high enough overall, or at least not higher than Melvin Gordon, and that's too bad because Antonio Gibson is an absolutely electrifying back. He's got good speed and size, but we're going to be seeing probably both today. As you can see, Antonio Gibson has taken both snaps in shotgun so far, while Melvin Gordon did take the snaps from under. So here are the stats for Phillip Shelby. Less yards by Brown, 200 yards, but 1 touchdown more, and they're about equal, or they are equal in the interception section. So we're hoping that he can bounce back after his first bad performance of his career. This is going to be a big part of, his development. How does he handle setbacks, and how does he respond to them? So first play, we're going to dump this one off to Swift, and there is a flag on the field. So even though we did not get good yards on first down, it is going to be a roughing the passer call. So we're going to move up about 15 here, and that's going to be a first down. And that's going to be committed by Matthew Ioannidis. This is a very good defensive line. And now throwing it to the drag route to Melo St. Clair with nothing but green ahead of him. And I don't think anybody's going to catch him, and they don't. Melo St. Clair, rookie receiver who we're going to be developing in the background, is going to get a chance to make a big catch here. We come out with 4 wide receivers, no tight ends out, and we're going to be able to make a big play. Melo St. Clair is an extremely fast player. He's very shifty. He's got good size as well. He's got the potential to be a phenomenal receiver in this league, and he's going to show his speed there. Yards after catch, about 47 yards downfield untouched. A great job by Melo St. Clair, and it's good to start off hot, and I think that's going to help Phillip Shelby bounce back if he knows his receivers are going out there to make plays as well. I formation here, tight end motion. He's going to hand this one off to the inside, but that's going to be veteran linebacker Jamie Collins making the tackle. 2nd and 8 here on the 27 on the right hash. Jameis Winston in the shotgun is going to dump this one off to his tight end there, and that's going to be a little hook route. We've heard all about those during the first season. Let's hope they don't make a comeback because they really screwed us over at a couple key moments last season. But a good hook route there for Jameis Winston finding the open man. Next play, he's going to be able to get around Ronnie Harrison, who was coming down, and it's going to be our second level guys. I believe Malik Hooker was the one who got involved. Ronnie Harrison needs to do a better job closing in there. Looking around in the shotgun, he's going to have a lot of guys crossing over all over the field, and that's going to be Homan, who's going to go down by an injury. It looks like he's holding at his, hip area. That could be a serious injury. And now it's going to be back out after the first down. It's going to be a little run here to Antonio Gibson for he's not even going to gain a single yard. So they're going to come out in the I formation very next play. This is a throwing down, so we'll see what they do here. Jameis Winston's going to hand this one off to Melvin Gordon, who gets good yards, but Malik Hooker's going to make a great open field tackle. And that's going to be a gain of 6 here, but nonetheless, we have a chance to get them to pack their bags. Jameis Winston in the shotgun. He's going to dump this one off down to the drag, and a big hit by Ronnie Harrison. But they do get the first down nonetheless. That is Tim Patrick, former Broncos receiver, who showed big play potential. He's a big, tall guy, but he's got great speed as well. And now, throwing some slants. No, he's going to go to the hook here. That's going to be Tim Patrick again. So they're using his big body, but not in this, the way that you would think they would. They're not going deep with him just yet. 2 short passes to Tim Patrick have been all they needed for first downs. Now, that's going to be Melvin Gordon. He's going to be eventually taken down by Adrian Phillips, our hybrid safety who usually plays down in the box. It's going to be a big gain for a first down. Very next play, they're going to run it to Melvin again, who breaks a tackle, and he's going to take this one 9 yards, just a yard short from the first down. He was able to break a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Melvin Gordon is a powerful runner. If you're just going to go in there with one arm, I'm willing to bet against you. Now, I believe that is Thaddeus Moss, the son of great Randy Moss, personally my favorite player in history, and I was really hoping he would land in New England in real life. I'm sure you guys don't care, but I was hoping he'd land in New England just for the fun of it. There was a lot of rumors, but he ended up going undrafted, so I really thought that was going to be the perfect opportunity for us to pick him up on a cheaper deal. Fortunately, the Redskins came in there. Haven't seen what he did too much last season during his rookie season, but Chase Young able to get DeAndre Swift down behind the line of scrimmage. That's only his first run, but also a loss of 4 yards. So it's going to be a 2nd and 14 here. We're going to need a big gain. But speaking about free agency, I mean, what a crazy year it was for a couple teams. I mean, I won't bring up the obvious team that I was just talking about. We'll move on from that, but a lot of trade rumors. Russell Wilson is now demanded a trade. Deshaun Watson with all the allegations, that's going to be a situation that's going to be, extremely important towards his future. I mean, a lot of things happening during this period, and it was definitely one of the more entertaining free agencies in a while, for the simple point that, quite a few players got some big contracts. Kenny Golladay moves on, as well as the second receiver from the Titans. It's not A.J. Brown, but it's Corey Davis, sorry, also going to the Giants. So that's a scary offense. They still have Evan Ingram, but penalty on the field, and Malik Hooker gets beat deep, thankfully takes him down. But a great duo with Evan Ingram as well. Saquon Barkley is hopefully going to come back and look good as he once did from another major injury. But that offense, I mean, if they can build a solid offensive line, I know the rumors currently are that they're going to try and draft one of the big receivers to add a third major weapon. But I mean, they still have Sterling Shepard, so I don't know if that makes too much sense. So I think they go here, maybe trade down, get themselves an offensive lineman or two, hopefully one at the start and one later rounds that they can have for depth and hopefully develop. I think that'd be the best way for the Giants to go. I mean, they already have a couple good players on the defensive end of things with James Bradbury. Jabril Peppers is very up and down, but he has shown potential to be a very, above average safety in the league. I think this is a team that can turn a lot of heads just next season, but it's all going to rely on Danny Dimes, whether or not they're going to be able to do too much. The Chiefs were able to go after a big offensive lineman in Joe Thuney after releasing two. So it was a weird situation, especially for Schwartz, who was a Pro Bowl right tackle, I believe. And I mean, geez, you're going to cut that. You're going to cut your two probably best, most steady offensive linemen between Eric Fisher and Schwartz. Both tackle positions, which are probably the most important positions on the offensive line when it comes to pass rushing and hopefully being able to block it. And going for a guard. So it was kind of a situation where they cut two guys to try and get one. We'll see how it works out, though. I suspect they'll try and find guys in the draft. They know it's an issue because clearly their backups were not able to get the job done during the Super Bowl there. But the Chiefs are in an interesting situation. What else happened? I mean, of course, following the Rams and Detroit, that's going to be an interesting one as well. Can Matthew Stafford finally make that big push? I mean, he deserves it. We said it in this series earlier. He deserves it. And how does Jared Goff play? I mean, Jared Goff had one really good year. And whether we say it's a system situation or not, I mean, he has been able to show that he's able to make the big throws during normal games, maybe not in the Super Bowl, but that's a different discussion. Can Jared Goff bounce back and have a good season? I mean, he's going to have a lot less to work with now without Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay in Detroit. But I mean, good running backs and Kerryon Johnson if he can stay healthy. Risky throw there by Philip Shelby. But, good running backs. Both of them have health issues. Let's hope they can stay healthy. And I just realized we're actually talking about the same team we're in the series. Like, we haven't already been over most of the, what's left over that's solid about the Lions. Like, we haven't talked about it in the first offseason and everything. But, there's a lot of potential on this Detroit team. A lot of young guys that are developing at the end of the day. And, of course, I'm a big fan of the new head coach. He's bringing a lot of energy. He's going to change the culture there in real life, something that we focused on in this series. And I think it's going to be a super interesting season. The extra game, of course, they just ruled it. They're going to a 17-game season on top of that. And a big touchdown there to Watts to put us in the lead. That's going to be a short throw right there. And the cool thing about having Njoku in the fullback position so often and having Watts out there on run plays is that they don't expect it when Watts is going to go out for the pass. And it works right there as he's wide open. The easiest touchdown of his career. But what were we saying? I mean, one preseason game less. Terry McLaurin, great spin move there. But one preseason game less. A lot of young players are going to struggle with that because preseason is usually when they get a chance to make a name for themselves. In that end, it is too bad. But, as a fan, it's an extra week of football. The problem is, by the time I think they get to week 18, it'll kind of feel like, it is one extra game, and we'll see how we translate it, but I have a feeling that we're going to be seeing teams rest their starters a lot more, especially the elite teams. Like, if you get another good Patrick Mahomes season, if Tampa Bay is able to turn it up and be more consistent, which I believe they will be with another year of full off seasons and stuff, but the teams like Tampa Bay, maybe even Green Bay in the AFC, you'll have, I think we already brought up the Chiefs, but the Chiefs, the guys who are able to put up wins in bundles, I mean, by the time it gets to week 18, I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of rested starters. So I'm not sure if that's a good thing as a fan or a bad thing. I know the players aren't too happy about it, and I can, partially understand. But it's definitely an interesting situation. I think next season's going to be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, a lot of veterans are either on the move or still in free agency. A lot of teams had to make some unfortunate cuts to some, really good players, but just guys who are on that older end. So I think that's also going to, improve rookie play times. I mean, there's a lot of teams cutting their starters or cutting their veterans, I mean, that's just simply going to mean that the guys that they draft are just going to hold that much more value. So hopefully we're going to be able to find some more diamonds in the rough out there. Still no idea what the Texans are doing. I think they signed 2 or 3 free agent running backs. Philip Lindsay was one of them. Ingram was the other. Interesting situation. I don't think running backs are going to be enough for Deshaun Watson to want to stay. Whether he holds out is also going to be interesting. So I'm super excited. But as we're about to enter half with only about 30 seconds left, currently 14-10, we're going to resume the game here and start looking at what's happening and focusing in as another big sack by Trey Flowers. And we're able to catch him. He's had a couple decent runs on us so far, but we also have a couple sacks on him, 4 already. So we're looking pretty good. We're not making him, it's probably showing that he's not very comfortable in the pocket if he's rolling out. 1, if he's rolling out so much. And 2, if rolling out is all he has, we're making him pay every once in a while as well. So it's going to be 14-13 going into half. We have the lead. Jameis Winston has done enough to get them down the field, but they're going to have to start punching them in. And that's going to be what they need to do if they want to be able to, hopefully compete in this game. Offensively, we need to be more consistent and start finding the easy gains for us to, take advantage of. And that's going to be the first kickoff return of the half for Agnew there. So 1st and 10 on the 21. An unfortunate return. A misconception is that if you're going to get it from outside the end zone or inside the field and not in the end zone, that you should be at least able to get it to the 25. But in most cases, that also means that the defense is going to get there a lot quicker. So Agnew is not able to get the big yards there, but we're going to get the big connection on the left sideline there. I believe that was Valdes-Scantling who was able to get the big first down. So we're in good field position here as we're going to go Valdes-Scantling once again on the little hook. That's going to be a gain of about 4. Out in the pistol now, trips off to the right. Rodney Foreman is the most inside guy. An audible here by Philip Shelby. He's going to hand this one off. And a physical run there is going to place us down in a 3rd and 1. Not even 3rd and inches. So you are going to see Watts and Crocker out here. Hopefully they can get the big first down. Crocker takes the handoff, breaks a tackle, breaks 2 tackles, and he is going all the way to the end zone. Unbelievable. First was Chase Young, then I believe it was one of the safeties, but 2 broken tackles back to back, and the big runs continue for Crocker. I mean, we don't know if the amount of carries he's gotten him so far, or by the end of the season, is going to be enough for, Rookie of the Year and those big XP bundles that come with it. But he might be one of the most electrifying rookies. That's a couple games now where he has big runs of over, 30 yards or plus, or even more than 30, around 50. So we're definitely liking that factor about him. It was not something we were expecting for him to be as good in the open field and at the second level as he is. But we're definitely enjoying his presence on the team. And back on offense now for Washington. I hope I didn't say Redskins throughout the video. That would be an issue. The Washington football team. I'm still not used to it, and it's been a full season. It's pretty crazy how things work and how they still don't have a name. Unbelievable. How do you not have a name to a professional football team? But then again, everybody's reporting that the organization is in shambles, so perhaps it makes sense for their situation. But back out now, 3rd and 12. He's going to take another sack by D. Ford here. He started panicking in the pocket, didn't find an open guy, put the ball below his waist. No chance he was going to be able to get a throw off in time, and we're going to be able to take advantage of that. Now that's going to be a gain of about 2, so 5 rushes for 5 yards so far for DeAndre Swift, coming off one of the biggest games of his career so far. Wasn't able to get much done, but this is a good way to bounce back from the pitch. Great blocks down the field and into the end zone he goes. So 2 big runs on back-to-back drives. This one 73 yards downfield. And just like that, the score is now 28-13, and we're only about halfway through the third quarter. So Washington here needs to bounce back on this drive, or things can perhaps get ugly. Rolling out, Jameis Winston is going to continue to run the ball even after the abnormally large sack numbers for what we've produced so far this season. But we're able to contain him, but he's still attempting to run a first down. But they are costing him every once in a while, so we'll have to see if he continues to do it. A little outside handoff there to Melvin Gordon. He's going to be taken down. I believe that was Mitch Klein, second-year linebacker. Next play up the middle for Melvin Gordon once again. That's going to be a gain of about 3. So 3rd and 7, we can get the ball back and hopefully seal this game. Jameis Winston in the shotgun. Gibson off to his right. Looking for an open man. He's going to run it again, and he's got nothing but green, and he's going to avoid the hit by sliding. I got to say, we are getting sacks here and there, but it feels like when Jameis Winston does get past the line of scrimmage, he's getting nothing but big yards. We're going to have to figure out a way to contain that more than just relying on our defensive ends to catch him as he's trying to find a gap. Very next play, big catch there. Amani looked like he was coming for the interception there, but a big physical play by Tim Patrick, and he's going to be able to make sure that he comes out with it and gains about 9 yards. Very short play next, and Kevin King able to knock this one down. They went for the little screen play there. A little unfortunate that we don't come out with the interception, but we do have a chance to force a field goal. So they're going to hand this one off right up the middle. Deshaun Hand will eventually be able to get his hands on him, but not before the gain of about 4 or 5, and of course a first down. So 1st and 10 on the 29 with about 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Jameis Winston is going to be under center here. It's going to be a motion by the fullback, and then a stretch off to the right makes Jamie Collins miss, but thankfully Terrence Kramer, who was pursuing, is going to be able to slow him down. He had some big yards ahead of him without Terrence Kramer's speed and athleticism on that play. And look at Deshaun Hand hustling on the screen play. That is a very fast Antonio Gibson, and he's going to do a great job pursuing that, able to stop him before he gets upfield. Melvin Gordon stretch again is dancing behind some blockers, but unable to get the first down. So they're going to take the field goal as we wanted, and we're officially in the fourth quarter. So 1st and 10 on the 26. DeAndre Swift moving around is going to try and stretch this one to the outside here. That's going to be a loss of about 1. This defensive group, especially the front 7 between the linebackers and the defensive linemen, have been extremely hard to run on. Very active and very athletic all over the field. 3rd and 9 after 2 ineffective runs. Only a total gain of about 2 there. Trying to find the open guy, dumping it off short to Valdez-Scantling, who's unfortunately going to drop it. 9 for 14 so far for Philip Shelby, but he does have the touchdown from earlier. We just got to be able to make those small plays more effective and be more consistent and not put ourselves in 3rd and longs. But trying to roll out again, and Trey Flowers, 3 sacks. That's going to be a great job. 6 total sacks so far in this game alone, and I believe that is more sacks than we've had all season so far. So finding Antonio Gibson on the out route to the right, that's going to be a completion. But 3rd and 14, we get a chance to get the ball back in good field position. Jameis Winston dropping back, shotgun, Gibson off to his left. Looking around, and it's going to be Trey Flowers for number 4. He had a game like this late last season where he seemingly just took over, but it's nice to see that he's able to, make these plays and going deep on 4th and 20 with 5 minutes left on the 12-yard line, their own 12. A questionable call there, but we're going to be able to force the incompletion and hopefully put some points up on the board. But what was I saying? I mean, hopefully it comes back to me soon, but you can see David Njoku there off to the right. And we're going to be back in 2nd and 7. It's going to be on the 9-yard line here. We're going to pitch it out to the left. We were able to score a touchdown last time we pitched it out to DeAndre Swift. And how funny is that? How did I forget what I wanted to say so quick? I love adding these little bloopers in the video. I think they're hilarious. But here comes Philip Shelby. 3rd and 7 is going to go too high to Valdez-Scantling. Unable to take advantage of his separation for him to turn upfield. So we're going to be forced to take a field goal here to make it 31-16. Now, very happy that we don't have a close game here, but even with the points going in our favor, there's definitely still a lot of things that we need to improve, as Antonio Gibson's going to pull a little move off to the left to the outside of the field there. Kind of made Ronnie Harrison look silly. Back in the empty set, looking around, we're playing man coverage. He's just going to take off here, and look at that green space ahead of him. 15, almost 18 yards there for Jameis Winston. Hasn't been known to be running too much in the NFL. Does have a pretty good run game in college when he was back in Florida State. I believe he had over, 10 to 15 rushing touchdowns in one season. So he's definitely capable of it, just hasn't shown it too much in the NFL. He's definitely not the fastest guy, but he's the perfect example of a quarterback who, if you give him yards, he will absolutely take them. And there he goes, rolling out once again, and nothing but green ahead of him. 10 yards right there. Thank God Dee Ford was able to catch up to him. Dee Ford, probably the more athletic guy of the two, so happy that he was the first one in pursuit. But going in the empty set here, you're going to have Melvin Gordon off in the slot on the left. We'll have to see where this ball goes. He's going to throw this one as he's getting hit, but finding Tim Patrick, who's been kind of his security blanket all game. He must have over 5 catches at this point throughout this game. In the shotgun, second and 2, Antonio Gibson off to the right. Jameis Winston is going to snap it, looking for the open guy. He's going to go back of the end zone here, and Ronnie Harrison just does not get there in time. And finally taking that shot to Tim Patrick with his size. Big touchdown there for the Washington football team. We're trying to waste some time now. It's going to be DeAndre Swift breaking one tackle, but someone else is going to be able to put their weight on him to slow him down. But that's going to be a first down nonetheless, in the first time out for Washington. Very next play, we're going to run it, but Chase Young and Jonathan Allen are both in the backfield. Just paying a little visit, but we're going to back up 3 yards here. So 2nd and 13, we need to get the first down if we want to seal this one for sure. Looking around, dumping this one off to Swift, who's going to get hit big, but he's going to be pushed forward, causing a 3rd and 3. We're keeping our money on Swift at this point in the game, but we are going to put our passing team out there, and almost intercepted, looking for Ronnie Foreman on the sideline. The ball came late, and very lucky that does not go the opposite way, allowing us to punt here. So 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Jameis Winston is going to take a shot on first down, and Terry McLaurin is going to be nowhere near inbounds. And here comes Morgan Moses, the starting right tackle, who goes down to injury. Hopefully we can take advantage of that on the end with Josh Sweat. Going to the corner route, very next play to Homan. It's going to be incomplete as this one is sailed out of bounds. So not a good start to the drive so far for the Washington football team, as it is now 3rd and 10. Looking around, throwing it short to Terry McLaurin. He's going to have to bend down to go get that one, but a good throw nonetheless. He finds the open guy. Going to the drag route here, that's Antonio Gibson. No timeout, so we're just trying to keep them in bounds, but there is a flag on the field, and that is going to be a roughing the passer call that's going to be on Dee Ford, who's been in the backfield a couple times so far. I believe he only has 1 sack, but unfortunate penalty here as they get good field possession, but more importantly, the time stops. Looking around, pressure coming in, and this time Dee Ford and Josh Sweat are able to initiate contact with him. That's going to be an incomplete pass. We want to see Josh Sweat take advantage of the backup right tackle, but Dee Ford is going to be awarded the big sack, just like we were calling for. And now, very next play, going deep. He's hit as he throws by, once again, Dee Ford takes over this drive, and he is not able to throw it far enough. So 4th and 19 here, only rushing 3. We are protecting the first down mark. Where is Jameis going to go? Looking around, and there is Dee Ford once again making his name known on the final drive of the game. And we're going to take a knee here, coming out with a 31-23 win, extending our win streak to 4 games. Great start to the season so far. This is what we wanted to do. If we can start off hot, we'd be able to give ourselves more room for error later on throughout the season. Unfortunately, unable to get Rodney Foreman too involved. But, just a game managing, situation that we were put in with Philip Shelby. 2 touchdowns, but didn't throw too often. We had the big runs by both running backs. And, passing game. Melo St. Clair had the big catch on our first drive. Other than that, we were just taking a lot of time off the clock and we were able to put the necessary points out there. Our pressure was key with almost 5, 6, 7, 8 sacks throughout this game, and we were absolutely dominant. You can see Terrence Kramer, our big tackler. He's getting over 10 tackles a game. Lots of sacks. So happy with how our defense played for the most part, but we still have to improve. Offense looked a little sloppy. I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.